The market has been very bad for the last couple of years, but the really important thing from an individual's point of view is that they're getting good advice as to when to move into safe areas and protect their money and their investments.
Is there any light at the end of the tunnel yet?
There are a number of positives at the moment. Probably the fact is that there is now quite a lot of regulation going on in terms of protecting the investor. There are also quite a lot of capital guarantee products that are out there so that people can't lose their money. In terms of seeing the economies around the world improving, it's probably not going to happen for another year plus, I would say. We'll see some improvement, but nothing significant. Having said that, I think Southeast Asia is the place to look for the next year.
Certainly the stock markets have been very volatile, and there's a lot of people who will say, oh, when it's volatile you can make money. But that usually isn't the average person that we're going to have at one of our meetings. They're the very conservative type investor.
Yeah, to be honest, it is possible to make money from the stock market. The downside to that is the only way to do that is to pretty much be sitting online all day, watching everything moving up and down to be able to jump in at the right time. Most people don't have that amount of time. The people that you have here are really looking for security. They're looking for some form of reasonable return on their money to be able to live comfortably. And to do that, you need to take professional advice, really. And because everybody's different, it doesn't matter if we have two 65-year-olds, both of them will have a completely different set of circumstances, and it's important we give the right thing for the individual.
And as you pointed out then, many of our members are the retired, because this is Padia, this is Thailand, this is why we come here to retire. We probably aren't earning a salary, we probably have maybe a pension if we're old enough for that, or a small amount of income and perhaps a little capital. Income is really probably going to interest people a little more than the long-term investments.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm no chicken myself, so I understand the problems. There are a number of products out there that actually give income as part of the return on the money, and again, it's really down to identifying the right one. If people come to you telling you they're going to give you a huge return on your money, I think it's the time to be suspicious. If you're looking to protect your money and get an income, you should be thinking of maybe 8%, 7 or 8%, which should be about the best you're going to get safely.
7 or 8% is historically what I guess are many investments. In fact, I remember when the banks were 4 or 5%. When can you see them getting back to that kind of thing? Let's say the Western European bank.
The general consensus is that the stock markets and the economies are not going to recover for another 18 months to 2 years. That being the case, the banks are going to continue to offer low rates of interest to try and encourage people to borrow money, to try and bump it up again, get it going again. So in terms of getting a good return on your money in banks, I would not be looking at anything within the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years.
I get the impression that some of the institutions are not keen on lending, and some individuals are not keen on borrowing because they've been burned already. Certainly with this credit card problem that is now being so exposed that people probably understand it.
Yeah, it's an ongoing problem. The fact that people are struggling financially, they turn to one of the few places they know that they can look for help, which is a bank. Banks, having been burnt themselves, are now ultra cautious, which means that they're much less likely to want to help. It is an ongoing problem, and really there is no easy answer to it. The only thing you need to do is talk to a professional and get some sensible advice.
At one time, I remember, it was something that to be considered to actually borrow money to invest. As there was a huge danger, of course, I would think that probably isn't a good idea now.
It depends. What's tending to happen at the moment, there are a number of people that are borrowing top-up money for their mortgages, where they've got a lot of equity in their houses. They're borrowing money out of the banks at, say for argument's sake, 3% loan against the thing, and then you find that there are capital guarantee products that are paying 7 or 8%. So as long as they're prepared to actually sit and wait for it, they can make money on it. So it's not the type of thing everybody will want to do, but it's not totally out of court.
And now a four-letter word, gold. Everybody's talking about gold and how wonderful it would be to get into gold.
Gold is certainly something that people tend to dive into when the markets are bad. We've seen, surprisingly, that gold at the moment is doing very well, but it does have its downside. There are times when the gold market will dip, and as it did in 2008, it dropped 25%, which is pretty much in line with what the stock market dropped at the same time. So the image of gold going up all the time while stock markets are going down doesn't always follow. Again, it's a case of you need to be on top of what's happening in the precious metals market if you want to make money out of it.
And we wouldn't be talking about a large box under the bed full of gold anyway. We'd be talking about an instrument that controlled the gold.
Yeah. Most of them are gold funds that you deal with. A number of Thais will actually have gold boxes under their beds, as I'm sure you know. No, in general, when we're talking about expatriates investing in gold, they generally will put it into a gold fund, or maybe a precious metal fund, because precious metal funds tend to have gold, silver, platinum, and a number of other things in. And when one is down, the other one may well balance it out and come up. So it's a matter of personal taste.
Well, if you're interested in talking to this gentleman, of course you can always contact us, and we have the contact details, but would you like to tell our audience out here how they can contact you and the kind of things that you can do for the individual person, the kind of areas that you can suggest? And one more thing I wanted you to add, if you could, is we know that Thailand suffers from the not regulation problem compared to North America, Europe, even Australia. How can people be ensured that they're not going to be nervous that their money isn't going to be invested locally?
The problem with Thailand has always been the lack of regulation. They regulate their own internal industries, but they don't deal with too much for expats. Really, the only way to be sure that you're getting good advice and that you're going into the right place is to talk to other people and get recommendations and referrals from people who are happy with people that they've dealt with. Probably 60% of my business comes from people who have been referred to me because they've got clients who have been with me for many years. And we don't have too many problems. But if you're talking about investing with somebody who's just turned up on your doorstep, then be careful. Check it out, get references, ask for references.
Have you been in Thailand long?
I've been in Thailand for about 8 years, but I've been in Asia for 14. I came over in '96 and worked in Brunei and Malaysia before I came here. But this is my favourite.
It is, isn't it? Hong Kong is exciting.
Hong Kong is interesting, but it's a little bit too hustle-bustle for me. I like the laid-back way the Thais approach everything. It's much nicer.
And that's contact detail now for you and your company.
Yeah, as I said, my name is Alan Lane. You can contact me on my mobile, which is probably the easiest way because that's with me all the time. And the number is 08797 03321.
And that's on your card. I have your card in my pocket. So as I said, we can put you in contact with Alan and his company, or you can call direct. And although they're in Bangkok, I did understand you to say earlier that you're very happy to come down here. Perhaps you rather like patio occasionally.
I do. I've got a number of clients down here, and I'm in Patao at least 1 or 2 days a week. So anybody who wants to meet up, advice is free. We're happy to sit down with them and have a coffee and a chat and give them some free advice. No problem.
Here we are. It may have seemed like the end of the world had happened in the last couple of years, and maybe for some people, unfortunately, it did. But things are looking up, and at least if we can find people that have a sensible head and can tell us what is likely to be something safe, because most of us are looking for safety, then this is exactly what we should be doing. So, why don't you come along to the Patio Expats Club one Sunday and not miss this occasion that you did on this time with this gentleman with some interesting news. And we're always here. Doors open at 10:30 at the Patio Expats Club. We're here at the Grand Soleil Hotel on Patio 2nd Road, and we're here each week. But just before we leave, I must tell you about a party. The party is coming up on Tuesday, this next Tuesday, the 1st of December. The Patio People Media Group, this television program is part of the Patio People Media Group. They are having an open party for all their friends. Come along to the Grand Soleil Hotel at 6 o'clock in the evening, dressed elegantly. That's the word that is the word of the day elegantly. This means no t-shirt, no slacks, no shorts, no flip-flops. Do that. You'll be happy to come in to join the party, meet all the people from the media group, enjoy a little food, a little wine. We hope to see you there.